I'll show the textbook only on screen, only for reference purposes. Obviously, I'll expect you to read from the textbook itself. Okay, that small kind of print, because that is what you have to refer till your examinations, right? Syllabus we already discussed. First chapter is preliminary. How have we bifurcated these chapters? Chapters as per Companies Act. Okay. Let me see if I have here somewhere. This is your income tax, no? Yeah, yesterday we were looking into. Yes. Visible? Companies Act 2013. Arrangement of sections. Chapter 1. Preliminary. Like I said, in our textbook also, as well as the Companies Act itself, Chapter 1 includes Section 1 to Section 2 only. Is it okay till now? So we'll check here. The chapters of your textbook as per ICM material, as per our textbook, as per Act, they are all exactly same. Check. Chapter 2 is what? Incorporation of company and matters incidental thereto. Chapter 3, prospectus and allotment of securities, and so on up to chapter 10, audit and auditors. It is getting over at which chapter? Chapter 10, no? Section 298 is an income tax. Total number of sections in income tax are 298. 148. Okay, chapter 10. Do you see your audit and auditors? So section 148 is your last part of the syllabus for your intermediate. Okay. So I have given you, I think, 6-7 pages in the beginning after the index page. Okay, to write all the section numbers. So that is what is our target. We'll begin. Everyone? Fine. Those who coming from foundation, especially, okay? You have done basics of company law, yes, corporate laws, as well as LLP, yes or no? Fine. So tell me very simply, why company? Why do we use this concept of, or one of the legal organizations as company? Why? Because separate legal entity, fine, that are the features of your company, good. Separate legal status, good. Very good. Limited liability. All features, huh? By heart. Perpetual. What else? Anything else? Yes, separation. Separation of ownership and management. You form a company for common seal. I am asking why company? Anything else? Anybody? Yes, good, obviously. So even in partnership, resources can be extended. Right, good. You can go to public at large. You can have involve n number of persons. That is, yes, one of the benefits. Yes. Anybody, anything else? Fine. So what do you mean by separate legal status? Separation between who? Between the members, that is owners of the company, and the company itself. Owners and company. They are now separated. Right or wrong? Fine. So here we are talking of this separate legal entity. It is a legal person. Yes. Company now is recognized as a legal person. Yes or no? Yes. Legal person. Natural person? Artificial. What do you mean by artificial and not natural person? Natural persons comes naturally. So natural persons are born, right? Natural persons die. Natural persons have relatives, right? Natural persons have feelings. All of that is not there in artificial person. So obviously when I say artificial person, they are not naturally born. They are created by law. And that is also reason that they will also die because of law. Die means what now? They will extinguish, because only by law it does not die a natural death. Company does not die a natural death because it was not naturally created. Understood here? That is very, very important. Limited liability means what? The liability of the owners is limited. You can have limited as well as unlimited liability companies also. That is also there, okay? Then perpetual succession means what? Company will go on forever. Even if the owners or members die, company does not die. It will continue, okay? Isn't it? Fine, that's what we call it as perpetual succession. In CA final or somewhere in CA inter also some kind of these questions were asked, All the directors of the company, all the owners of the company, even the members, they were taken for a particular annual general meeting by a private flight to some location in India, okay? All the flights, whatever, big flight, small flight, but all of them were in one single flight, and that flight crashed. Flight gone, pilot gone, directors gone, members gone, okay? And what about the status of the company? The legal representative of the owners or members, they will continue the company. Company will continue. Isn't it? Good. And separation between ownership and management. Owners or members, they are the owners, right? Management means board of directors, the persons who are regulating that particular company. Very good. So, before again going to company, can it give me the various, you can say, organizations or structures through which we can do a business? Separate kind of entities. The company is one. Beginning with first one, single person. Proprietorship. Proprietor, yes. Then partnership. More than two or more. Partnership, yes. HUF, good. LLP. Joint stock company. Okay. So joint stock, cooperative, fine. Who else? Company. OPC. OPC is a company. Correct? So we will keep company as one category. Yes or no? Right? Now, the disadvantage of one after one, is maybe you can say that is removed in the next concept, isn't it? What is the disadvantage of proprietor? Unlimited liability. Good. Lack of resources, he is single person. So whatever capital, only he can raise. Correct? So lack of resources or capital. Then capital or resources, same thing. Why? Because he cannot delegate his work too much. There are no one to take responsibility equally. Yes or no? What else? No succession, fine, yes, because then again it doesn't have a perpetual succession. What else? Geographical limitation. Proprietor usually does business only in one location, so he is not able to expand. So expansion is out of now question, isn't it? Yes. So these are some important, you can say, demerits of being a proprietor. Yes, good. How do you establish? Pay attention now. How do you establish a person as a proprietor? Now I am talking practically. This is all theoretically. How do you establish a person as a proprietor? What does he require? Start business directly. Capital. Idea. Okay. Now I am talking citizen of India. Fine. I am talking compliance wise. Compliance. What is the meaning of the word compliance? To comply. Duty. something to be registered somewhere. That is what I'm trying to talk. Okay? Anybody of you has proprietorship? Somebody in your relatives maybe? Shop? Very good. Dhande wale, barabar hai. You understand? A shop act license, correct? A shop act license. That is your basic necessity to start a proprietary business. Are you following here? It is shop act. Then who issues shop act? That is the question. Not government directly. It is, no. We are not in registrar now. It is your corporation, okay? Corporation or municipality. If you are in corporation, pay attention. If your shop is in a corporation, it will be given by corporation. If it is in a municipality or gram panchayat, you just need an NOC. NOC? No objection certificate. So NOC will be treated as shop act in cases of municipality or something below than that. Understood? If you are in corporation, you require shop act license. Correct? Yes? Yes. Very good. And one more obviously is your PAN. PAN is from income tax perspective. So based on your ID proof, address proof and PAN, you get your shop act licenses. Okay till here? Fine. So demerits of proprietorship, some demerits. This one, expansion, lack of capital or resources, that is removed in the case of partnership. Now, so can I say shop act was your most important constitutional document for proprietorship? Yes. And partnership ke liye? Agreement. What do we call it as? Simple. Partnership deed. Liability limited? Unlimited right now. Correct. Again, there are some restrictions. Which one? Dispute between partner. That is, yes, very good. Number of partners, how many? 100. So there is again a restriction over here, maximum number of partners. Fine. 20, 50, 100. 100. Fine. So there is again maximum number of partners issue. Fine. Again this issue, limited liability or unlimited liability, sorry. Right? Fine. And again there is no separation between partner and partnership. So we again partnership firm is as such not treated as separate legal entity. HUF is not even a ideal as such business because it is only family restricted. So it is not something very, very professional or something you can do too much out of it. Okay. So HUF as such is out of question over here. Professionally I am talking about. HUF is something when you have a very small or a close business, something you can expand from proprietorship to HUF. Okay. But something you want to do on a big scale, HUF does not come into picture. HUF is also mainly used for tax planning that we will see later on. But now tell me, since you have learned a little bit of basics of taxation, is HUF treated as a separate legal entity? Yes. Yes, HUF is treated as a separate legal entity. Yes, so proprietor can have himself as a business and HUF can also have its separate business. So HUF is a separate legal entity. Fine. Then LLP, what demerits removed? Yes, separate legal entity, limited liability. Again, what is my basic constitution document for LLP? Same thing, deed. LLP deed, agreement, whatever is between the parties. Okay till now? Fine. And then we go to company. So tell me, pay attention now. LLP is managed by who? Who is the authority? LLP Act. Good. That is the Act. What else? Deed. Government. Which government authority regulates LLP? MCA regulates LLP. Okay. Ministry of Corporate Affairs. LLP is regulated by MCA. Pay attention. So this basically, this simple partnership through, can I say now, Partnership Act 1932, is that regulated through MCA? No. So keep one thing in mind, your regular basic partnership. Now you might be knowing partnership can be registered, unregistered, yes or no, right? So whenever you want to create a simple partnership, it can be a very, very simple notarized deed. It may or may not be even notarized. Did you understand? Pay attention. Did you understand agreement between the partners? What do you mean by notarized or notary? That person sitting outside on shops, some shops, he has that lal color, red color ka stamp seal. He is the notary public. Yes or no? Yes. Where did you see him first? Bill of exchange, right? Basically an advocate, pay attention. Just an advocate giving some other special, more examinations, he can become a notary. So what is the importance of that? It is a kind of a person between the court and just unsigned asset. This is for verification purposes. That is, it has been notarized, that it has been seen by somebody. So when they stamp it, no, they stamp it at signed before me. It means what? Signed in front of me. So that is the authority, or you can say importance of notarized. Okay, so a deed, pay attention. Deed means a simple agreement between the partners. That is, you can have an unregistered or unnotarized also deed. If you want some more authentication, you can notarize it. And third, you can go ahead and also get it properly registered, properly recognized or registered. Understood here? Fine. So let me tell you, pay attention here. Have you heard of that? ROF? Registrar of or Register of Firms. Okay. So again, that comes under your state control, state government's control. In Pune, do you know where is the Register of Firms office? It's here only. Firms. It is, I think, on Satara Road somewhere. Satara Road near to that City Pride, somewhere on the Satara Road. You will see that Register of Firms. Which office it is? Shh. State government. Have you been to any state government department? It is posh, A1 class, okay? Exactly opposite. Exactly opposite. Very, very difficult situation to be in a state government department. What did I say? How do the files move? Status quo. So that is the, you can say, control or work done by state government. Understood here? So much so that, pay attention, so much so that you have to draft that agreement, partnership deed, to get it registered. If you are in the state of Maharashtra, you have to translate that English deed into Marathi deed. Okay? And those of you who had like problem like me, this key or this wala key, they reject document based on this also. No, not first Velanti, second Velanti and all of that. Such kind of treatment is available at government departments. So obviously 2-3 rounds for the state government department. 2-3 rounds means obviously loss of time, loss of petrol and all of that. Plus a person has to be involved over there. So it is a very, very troublesome case to get yourself registered. Once you are registered, keep one thing in mind. Once you are just registered, you just get a simple acknowledgement. Yes, you have registered with us. Again, you want that some kind of certificate that you have been registered actually. That comes after 1 to 2 years. Actual certificate comes after 1 to 2 years. That is the pathetic situation of state government work as such. It is not properly regularized. That's why we recommend go for LLP. If you want to go for partnership, better will still go with LLP. Why? This is much highly better compared to state government. This entire process, pay attention. %100% online. You can just sit at home and create your LLP. Why? Because it is properly regulated by MCA. Is it okay till here? So pay attention. When I just compare your regular partnership and an LLP, LLP has more importance or more weightage because it is directly now, you can say, recognized or controlled by MCA because at the central government level. Understood till here? So obviously we prefer LLP over your partnership, regular partnership. Yes? So since there is more control or as such regulation by central level, silence. The registration fees are also a little bit higher compared to your regular state governments as such partnership. Okay. Now pay attention, since it is regulated again by central government, it has more weightage, it has more compliance. When I pay attention, when I use this word compliance, it means some kind of regular reporting to be done to MCA. Who is responsible now? MCA is responsible. So the partnership, this LLP, on regular basis, they have to update some things as a compliance on regular basis. Okay, understood here? That doesn't happen in your regular partnership. Fine, everyone? So it has more compliance, more control, and that's why more weightage also. Okay, till here? Fine. One of the important demerits, let me tell you, of LLP. Silence, I won't ask you again and again. One of the demerits of LLP, okay, pay attention. There is some form 8 and form 11 which you have to submit annually. To who? MCA. All this reporting compliance are done to MCA. Now obviously you have to do it annually, that means some date is defined, that date is your due date, okay, it is something 31st May and then again some September every year. Now the problem is, if you miss this due date, okay, if you miss this due date, the penalty is rupees 50 per day. Fine till now? Just rupees 50 per day. In most of the acts, there is always an upper limit to penalty. This is a continuing default, yes or no? Continuing default means what? You miss one day, 50 rupees, you miss another day, 100 rupees and so on, plus 50 rupees per day. So usually in most of the acts, there is also a upper limit. That let us say, for example, 50 rupees per day subject to maximum rupees 10,000. Again I am giving it as an only sake of example. But the problem in LLP Act is there is no upper limit for this penalty. Are you following till here? So there are some cases, LLP, who have not filed this form 8 and form 11 for 3 years or 3 to 5 years. Just try to calculate on daily basis. Two forms, no? So 100 rupees almost per day. 100 rupees almost per day. For 365 days also almost kitna? 36,500 into almost 3 years. Fine gone into the house of 1 lakh almost. Following here? So even if you miss the small compliance, very, very small compliance, but again you are not being very careful of the compliances, fees goes up to 1 lakh. And you cannot close down the LLP. You cannot wind up the LLP unless you get all of this regularized. Regularized means normal. Get all the non-compliances complied with. So you have to pay a fine of almost 1 lakh rupees, get it complied with, and only then you can finish off or you can wind up your LLP. Most of the partners or people or clients think, we will not file that 1 lakh rupees. Let it go. We will not even completely look into it. They ignore for 3 years, 5 years. After 5 to 6 years, directly a notice of imprisonment. Directly a notice that you have not complied with all these compliances. Now there is some other kind of, next kind of, you can say, regulations or penalties. So you were given a chance to pay penalty, you have not done that. Now your imprisonment proceedings will begin. So that is why we have to take your whatever MCA is there, central government is there, their compliances very, very seriously. So there is an advantage as well as disadvantage. This is a very small disadvantage of LLP. Understood till here everyone? Very good. And companies again also managed by who? Also MCA. Fine till here? Now MCA is your central department, central union department, yes or no? Pay attention. Leave aside for a minute benefits of company. When I compare proprietorship and a company, who has more recognition? Company has more recognition because it is now managed by central government or union, isn't it? It has now been management. Proprietor can shut his shop and run away anytime. He cannot be traceable later on. But your companies are there, it is managed, that's why. And since compliances are also there, that's why they also have more recognition and importance compared to other forms of business. Again, so like company, if I compare with HUF or your regular partnership also, that's why they have more weightage or importance. Yes? So tell me, from investor's point of view, which is more preferable? Company obviously is more preferable. Why? Because all these details are online available. You can check any company's very, very basic or important records anytime on the website which I told you. Which one? mca.gov.in. So any company's details you can check. Date of incorporation, address details, capital details, whether they have done last compliances or not. All these details are online, always available. That's why there is more control, and that's why it also gives lots of confidence or faith to the investors. If tomorrow I want to do any kind of, you can say, export or import, that means what? I am dealing here with my foreign parties. If you are an Indian company, okay, and you want to, let us say, export. Yes, there is a person sitting outside India who wants to buy, yes or no, from you. Now, how will that person get confidence if you are just proprietor? Our people in India itself will not have confidence if you are dealing with the proprietor. Your outsider, how will you have that confidence? Only because you might be a company, because it is recognized as such, regulated by law, or you can say union government. Understood or no? That's why it has more and more importance. Another point, let me just tell you frankly or very clearly. So there is not much difference between LLP and company except your basic structure, okay? Private company, public company, number of members and so on. But when I talk about loan, who gives loan? Mainly, first source of loan is your bank. Second, I told, like I said, investors. Somebody is willing to contribute in your company. Again, banks practically are not comfortable with LLP to give some loans. If it is a company, they are more, you can say, comfortable giving the loans. So that small advantage company has over LLP. Again, there are small acts here and there which recognize only company and not LLP. So company still has more and more advantage towards rest of your types of organizations. Understood till here? Fine. So what is the document which are required to form a company? Everyone? Which is the document required to form a company? Or I can say company has been formed. Certificate of incorporation. Don't call it certificate of date of birth and all of that, okay? It is not date of birth certificate, it is certificate of incorporation. Very good. Given by? ROC, Register of Companies. ROC is an authority, person, right? He comes under which department? State government. Okay, whatever, state government is one answer. Another answer. He comes in which department? MCA department. Very good. Use small logic. We just now said entire company LLP is regulated by MCA. ROC is just one of the authority under MCA. Okay, ROC के ऊपर होता है, ठीक है, RD, Regional Director. So again, it is jurisdiction specific. You understand jurisdiction now, importance of jurisdiction. So ROC is there for a particular jurisdiction. That means area under the control. Understood or no? So some states has more than one ROC. Rest of the states have only one ROC depending on their geographical size. Maharashtra has two ROCs. Which one? Mumbai and Pune. Okay. So rest of Maharashtra comes under which ROC? Pune ROC. Fine. And above ROC, who do we have? RD, Regional Director. And that is again your hierarchy in your MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Fine till now? Okay. What is section 1? Short title, extent, commencement and it is given on first page also, I guess, of first chapter, right? Section 2 will be what? Definitions. Very good. Are definitions part of the act? Definitions are part of the act? Yes. Whom do we give importance to? Definitions given in which act? This act or outside act? This act. we give first preference or the most important preference to the definition given in that particular act only. Okay. So first priority is obviously definitions given in this particular act. Fine. Which company law we had before 2013? Very good. Don't write down, okay? Maybe some of your Bcom colleges are still teaching you 1956, maybe, okay? Or still you are still learning 1956, but obviously 2013 has come from 2013. But our people don't understand, no? Still, old laws are still going on. So, why not 1956 and 2013? That is the first thing. Pehli baat to, first thing, very old. Very, very old. So since old, what happens is amendments. Amendments. How many amendments? Too many amendments. So much so that almost each and every section is now amended. So that instead of amending, keeping on amending, what do we say? Let us scrap that. Let us bring all the amended, all the new things which you want to have in a new particular act itself. So whenever this 2013 had come into picture, we were having comparison between 1956 and 2013 law. Many new features have been added in Companies Act 2013, which was not there in 1956. So we had to move with time, with globalization, right? We had to adapt. Some features of company law were introduced in Pakistan. We were still too much behind them. Okay, concept like, for example, OPC, one person company. Concept is old. Concept is old. It was not in act or not in law till 2013. Pakistan or some other developed country, not Pakistan is not developed, but other developed countries or as well as Pakistan and some other countries had already implemented that sections or those particular concepts. So OPC is there. Anything else? CSR, corporate social responsibility. That again we'll see at the end of the syllabus, section 135. So again that is now separately put into your syllabus. You might have seen some advertisements on TV that profit of our companies goes to benefit of some social sector or something like that. They are very proudly telling you that they are doing it. They are not doing it themselves. They are doing it because law told them to do it. It is a kind of now a compliance. Some part of the profit they have to now compulsorily spend it towards some kind of social arrangements or social benefit. Then gender equality. So concept of women director, that has also been now introduced in Companies Act 2013. Then rotation of auditors. Okay, again that concept was not there in your 1956 law. So some small changes here and there, some new features have been added, and that's why we needed a new act itself that has come in 2013. Understood? Small things. Fine. E-governance as such has been highly promoted. What do you mean by e-governance? Electronic governance. Governance by who? By the government, or you can say MCA, isn't it? That is the authority, but everything is now kind of electronic. So that is promoted in your Companies Act 2013. Then meetings, if I say, board also meet, board of directors also meet, yes or no? Board meetings are also there. Yes, board of directors. Or also members meet, AGM, annual general meeting. Okay till now? So even these meetings can be conducted and voted upon electronically. Okay. Earlier you had to be physically present in the meeting, especially in your board meeting. Now in 2013, what have they done? Skype, you know. Skype, you know, no? That, or even in WhatsApp as such, but I'm talking of properly, officially, properly. These are all just your video softwares, video conference softwares. So you can, all the, let us say, any kind of board persons, they might be sitting anywhere in India or even outside India, they still can conduct a board meeting via video conference. That is also now legally valid, allowed, because of Companies Act 2013. AGM, why do we meet annually? It is annual general meeting of shareholders, members, good. Why do they meet? Khana khane ke liye. Free food by company. To discuss financial status of the company, some activities of the company throughout the year. Obviously, there is again a separate chapter on AGM. Shh. Have you heard of this word? Relating to meetings. Resolutions relating to meetings, not your 1st January resolutions, which you don't meet at all. Right? But yes, the meaning is still the same. To resolve means to what? To finalize, to get it now done, means that has been agreed upon. Okay, in writing. That is your resolution. We pass in what? Meetings. Right? How do we pass resolutions? Yes. How do we decide majority? Voting. Right? Very good. Same thing now, allowed over here. What is allowed? Electronic voting. So all these provisions, I am just giving you very brief, they were not there in your 1956 law. It was an old law. So taking IT, information technology as such into picture, changes have been done to your law. That's why 2013 has come into picture. So when was Companies Act 2013 actually came into effect from? You can read now, from the textbook we can read, okay? Too much of MCQ and GK is done, let us actually now go, whatever is available, okay? Everyone there? So why did we introduce 2013? To, we can say, come over of 1956 law, that's why we needed a new law. So 1956 as such is gone. So pay attention. The legislation was necessitated to meet changes in the national and international economic environment. Legislation means what? Legislative, the law making body. They felt that we require now the new law according to your economic environment within and outside India. There were many challenges of 1956 that have been removed by 2013. Pay attention. The act received the assent. Assent means what? Approval or consent, you can say. Whenever in doubt, write down the word meaning over there. I have given you space on the right hand side also, yes? Right hand side of the textbook, no? Assent means you can say approval. By who? Honorable President of India. Just pay attention how it is written. Apostrophe. That small things later on in your presentation also matters. Don't just say Supreme Court. Don't just say High Court. Say Honorable Supreme Court, Honorable High Court. It matters. Small things here and there in your presentation matters. Okay. If you can implement it in your answer, it will look something better than the rest of the answers. Are you following here? So try to implement these technical words or important words also in your presentation. So when was the approval given? 29 August 13. And notified in official gazette on 30th August. What do you mean by official gazette? That story, no? Official newspaper, official notification of the government. That's it. It is official notification, you can say. Fine? Everyone? Okay. Pay attention. Very important now. Very important. किधर गया वो? How many sections? 470 sections, okay? Then you see here, 470 sections of Company Act 2013. The one thing very important over here is, all section 1 for all sections, 470 sections did not come into effect from one single date. They did not come into effect from one single date. They came on, you can say, time basis. As and when time progressed, they have said that particular section will be applicable from particular dates prospectively. What do you mean by this word? From a particular date. Backdated. So prospectively means future dated. Okay. Prospectively means future dated. So retrospectively means backdated. Write down this somewhere, very important. So come out of your CPT and foundation level, okay, of law. You have to now going little bit deep, core of law. So retrospective means backdated, prospective means future dated. Which example I gave you? Retrospective? Vodafone. Retrospective amendment to income tax law. It was backdated amendment. That's what happened. Even Supreme Court was helpless. But here, pay attention now. So prospective comes into effect now, or it is now helpful to us in company law. What did Companies Act 2013 say? Some sections are with prospective effect. Means what? They will be effective from a future date. Understood here? So check. As on 30th August, there are only hardly 98 sections which came into effect. Check. So different dates may be notified for enforcement of different provisions of Companies Act 2013 through notifications. Means what? MCA will give notifications that so and so number of sections are effective from so and so date. They are effective from only from notifications. We don't have already dates given. When were they effective from? Understood or no? Samjha ke nahi? Jhepa. Right? So section 1 starting from 30th August 2013 and 98 sections came into force from 12th September 13 and then again 143 sections from was April 14 and so on. Not relevant. You just have to know that first one is, this is important. Section 1 from 30th August. And another important thing you have to keep in mind is that not all sections came into effect on one single day. Understood here? They have broken up the, if you can say, starting of all these sections. Fine? Pay attention. How many total sections? Company law? 470. The act is rule-based legislation. Means what? Rule-based means what? Act also has rules. So obviously act itself is helpless without the rules. So rules are there. Schedules, how many? 7. What are schedules? They are kind of attachment to your law of some particular formats also. Pay attention. How many chapters? 29. Chapters we have already discussed now. How many chapters we have for our syllabus? First 10 chapters. And this is very important. Check. Every chapter has at least one set of rules. With every chapter, pay attention, with every chapter there is a separate rule given. Are you following here? Every chapter will have a separate rule. So what all changes were done, or why 2013 is for more governance, e-management, compliance and enforcement by MCA, disclosure norms. What do you mean by disclosure? Something disclosing, something giving some details to the government. Auditors and mergers and acquisition changes were done. Also new concepts like check, OPC, small companies, dormant companies, class action suits also we have to see in detail. Registered values, CSR have been included in 2013. So these things were not there in your 1956 law. So because of all the putting all these things together, we wanted or we were required with the new law. Understood till here everyone? Fine. So tomorrow again or next lecture will again begin with section 1. Read this and come, okay? As far as possible always read the chapter beforehand. You will understand much and much better. Okay? See you in next lecture.